Hey guys, Brady here with your daily tennis lesson. So we're looking at the runaround forehand this week, and specifically today, the inside-out forehand, which I think is kind of a misconception by a lot of players out there. A lot of players hear inside-out forehand and just assume that that is a runaround forehand. But specifically, the inside-out forehand is when I run around my backhand, I play this inside ball, and I return it into the ad side of the court. So it's now an outside ball for my opponent, which means it crossed his body. Simple layman's terms, you are running around your backhand to hit forehand and hitting it to the ad side. And this is, again, obviously for a right-handed player. That's the run around inside-out forehand, okay? Couple ideas about this shot. One, I'll always kind of open up with this. I think forehands generally are everybody's more dominant shot from the baseline. So as often as we can get chances to hit our forehands, I always say go for it, okay? A couple things. Once we're in this position to run around our forehand and hit over there, Mark, go ahead and feed me one real quick. And I hit that inside-out forehand. Couple great things about it. I am going over the low part of the net by going cross court, which means there's more court to work with because it's a farther distance for my ball to be able to travel to get into that half of the court. So I've got more court to work with. And generally I'm playing a right-handed player, as Mark is. And so now I'm hitting into his backhand, which, again, a majority of the time just turns out to be the weaker or more conservative shot. So we got a number of things working for us with this inside-out forehand, you guys. The first being that it's my best shot from the baseline, and I think a lot of you guys as well find that your forehand is more dominant than your backhand. So you're setting the table for the end of the rally by running around the backhand to load up on the forehand. By going into the ad side of the court, I'm going into Mark's backhand, usually his weaker shot. I'm going over the low part of the net, which is a huge bonus on this ball, that I can fire away and not be dealing with the high part of the net down the line. And then, you know, the court's longer as we look at it from a cross-court position. Going straight down the line versus cross-court, I've got 4.5 extra feet of court to work with by hitting this ball cross court, okay? You know, if I go ahead and swing it a couple here, we've got the idea of different landing zones as well. There's different values for different landing zones on this shot. If I go a little bit shorter, the ball tends to jump a little more outside the court. It has a little bit of an angle effect on it, which might not be struck as big, but now it's stretching the court more. Mark's got more court to cover. If I go deeper through the court, you know, that's the one that tends to be hit quite a bit harder, and therefore I might hit a winner. And if Mark does get a racket on it, he's more jammed and kind of just flicking something up. That might result in a very short shot for me to go up and put away afterwards. So have that picture, that clear picture. You're going to run around the backhand. You're working the ball into the big side of the court, going over the low part of the net, going into your opponent's weaker side usually, and play around with the depths that you landed at. And I think you guys will find value in both landing it a little bit short and a little bit deep. And that way, you've got a nice repertoire. Okay, so hope that was super helpful. Please click the like below this video. And if you happen to be watching on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. Thanks, and we'll see you soon.